Hi everyone, welcome to Vijay Studies. Today our topic data abstraction. What is data abstraction? Data abstraction is a process of hiding unwanted data details from the end user. So it is a data abstraction is a process. It is a process of hiding unwanted data details from the end user from the end user. So it is a process of hiding unwanted data details from the end user. For example, users want to access the data easily. The data abstraction hide the complications from the end user, and it only shows the relevant part of the data or relevant part of the database to the user. If any user wants to access the data, it shows only needed information or relevant data or relevant data to the user, and it hides the all the unnecessary data from the user. And next, types of data abstraction. There are mainly three types of there are mainly three types of mainly three types of data abstraction. Data abstraction is of three types. There are mainly three types of data abstraction. So physical level, conceptual level, and view level. Data abstraction is of three types. It is a process of hiding unwanted data from the user. Physical level and conceptual level and view level. And the first one, physical level. Physical level. The physical level also called as internal level. The physical level also called as internal level, and the physical level is the lowest level of data abstraction. Lowest level of abstraction. Lowest level of abstraction, and the physical level defines how the data is stored in the database. So it defines how the data is stored in the database, and also the data structure to store data, and also the data structure or data structure of the data, and also access methods used by the database, and whatever the access methods, they are also defined in the physical level. How the data is stored, and also defines data structure, and also defines data structure to store data structure to store data, and access methods access methods used by the access methods used by the database. So first of all, it defines how the data is stored and also data structure to data and access methods used by the database. And mainly or actually the developers, database application programmers decided how to store the data in the database. So it is mainly accessed by, or it is mainly interacted, mainly the developers and database application programmers are interacted with the physical level, and they decided how to store the data in the database. So the developers, mainly developers or database application programmers, database application programmers are to interacted with this physical level and decided how the data is stored in the database. Decided how to store the data in the database. And next level, and next one, logical level, and next one is logical level or conceptual level. Conceptual level, next one is logical level or conceptual level. So it is the, obviously it is the intermediate level. It is intermediate level, and it describes what data is stored in the database and what the relationship exists among the those data, among the data. So the physical level describes how the data is stored in the database, and the logical level describes, it describes what data is stored, what data is stored in the database, what data is stored in the database, and what relationship, and what a relationship exists among those data. So it defines what data is stored in the database and the relationship among the data. And in this level, the developers and database administrators are interacted with this level or worked with this level. This level is used by developers or database administrators. Database administrator, and it tries to describe the entire or whole data. So the logical level or conceptual level tries to describe the overall data stored in the database, because so it deals with the tables, what tables are created and the links among that tables. So it deals tables and the links between the tables. So overall it describes about the entire or whole data. This level is used by the developers and administrators, and logical level contains tables and the relationship among tables, and it tries to describe the about the tables and the relationship between the tables. So it tries to describe overall data or whole data, about the whole data. And next one is view level, and next one is view level or external level. View level or external level, and obviously it is the highest level. It is highest level. It is highest level, and in this level there are different levels of views, and every view only defines a part of the entire data. Okay, there are different levels of views. There are different levels of views. There are different levels of views in the view level. The n number of views. There are different levels of views in the view level, and every view only defines a part of the entire data. Part of the entire data. View level can be used by the all end users. So the view level is used by all users, all end users, and users will access the data from the database. So for example, the user can interact with a system by using graphical user interface, that is a view level, and can enter the queries at the graphical user interface and access the data, and user access the data from the database. The view level contains many views, and every view only defines part of the entire data. So the in this level the user interacted with the database, and in this the user use the graphical user interface, and at that he enter any queries, and based on the queries he get the information or access the information from the database. And in that level, in this view level, the user only get the information, and he does not know the storing details of the data. The user does not know how the data is stored in the database and what data is stored in the database. They are hidden from the user, and user only access the needed information, required data, and he does not know anything about the data storage and where it stores, how it stores in the database. And this is about the data abstraction and types of data abstraction.